All right, let's let's talk about Mother. 'Cause last night I went and I saw Mother, the new horror movie. More horror movie might be overselling it, but the new movie by Darren Aronofsky. For those who don't know Darren Aronofsky, he is the insane auteur who has made such movies as Requiem for a Dream, uh, The Fountain, Pie, The Wrestler, and the incredibly underrated and awesome Noah. Seriously, if you love fantasy movies, watch that movie. I mean, it's cool from a biblical perspective too, but if you like the movies like The Hobbit, check it out. So Mother, yeah. Let's just say it is not going to be for everyone. It is definitely not his most mainstream work. In fact, one might say this is a return to his roots after making such commonplace fare as The Wrestler. Because it's pretty, like, here's what you need to be aware of as an audience member going in. And because let me be honest here, there is very little you should be aware of before going in to see this movie. See it as unaware of it as you can possibly be. Why is this going to be very difficult to talk about in the non-spoilers section? Side note, do not watch the spoilers if you have not seen the movie yet. Okay, so Darren, the best way if I had to describe the movie, I would describe it as if Harold Pinter got picked to do, if Harold Pinter got hired to write a horror movie. That's kind of how I would describe it. Now, I could have said Samuel Beckett, and more people watching this on the internet would have been like, oh, reference. But Harold Pinter is more accurate to how the movie plays out. And because here's the thing, the movie, it is not in a realist, modernist style. You need to be aware of that going in. It's going to, at the most grounded, show you some magic realism, or at various other points, veer off strongly into absurdism. And some audience members are not going to be ready or prepared for that. So just be aware that that is a thing that's going to happen. The movie is intense. And hey, it's very intense, actually. At points, disturbing. At points, very disturbing. But at other parts, very calm, very mellow, very placid, very peaceful at times. At other times, just in your face, intense and occasionally disturbing imagery. It's graphic, not like exploding carcass graphic, although it gets promoted at one point, but at points it is pretty graphic, although not gratuitous. That's how I should put it. Graphic, but not gratuitous. Okay. It is well acted. Everyone does a good job. Michelle Pfeiffer, Ed Harris, Javier Bardem, and of course, Jennifer Lawerence. And hey, for people who like this or care about this, she spends pretty much the whole movie without a bra. And at some point in kind of see-through clothing. So hey, people who are into that, that's going on. There's literally nothing that I should stop talking about it, actually. Except I'm stalling to come up with an idea of what I actually want to score this movie, because I don't know. It's like, honestly, the more I think about it, the more I kind of love this movie. Although I understand why other people might not. It is not mainstream friendly, although it is several steps more mainstream friendly than, say, The Fountain. A movie I also love, but also don't understand. entirely. I understand what's happening in the story. I don't know what the hell it means. Love transcends time? I don't know. Back to this movie. Man, there's almost nothing I can really say that won't in some way take away from the ride, the experience that is this movie. I don't say that about a lot of movies, but honestly, if you're going to go into a movie not knowing a ton about the movie, this is the right movie to do that with, because you should experience this. It's not like anything I've ever personally seen. And while there is one part of the movie I totally predicted, I did not predict how it connected at all. Well, kind of, sort of. Not really. There's nothing I can say that wouldn't be confusing. For those of you who are worried, it's going to be like, just to give you an idea of how unexpected the movie is, some people have commented to me that they thought, before seeing it, they thought it was going to be like a Rosemary's Baby type thing. It is not. It's almost the opposite. It's not a Rosemary's Baby thing at all. But yeah, and it, in a weird way, it is epic. It is an epic. It is technically in 2 acts, but so many pieces. And it deals with so many different themes. I could not even begin to tell you how many different themes. But it all centers around one focus, and okay, screw it. I'm giving it a 9. I'm giving it a 9 for right now. I might change my mind by the end of the year when I've had more time to think about it and mention it in my Movies of the Year video or whatever. But right now I'm giving it a 9. So now I'm doing that so I can move into spoilers and actually fucking talk about this movie. So, like, subscribe, notification, comment, tell your friends, your loved ones, watch my other videos, you know, all that cool jazz. Now we're gonna go into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw it out there, cause it took me. I was more than halfway through the movie when I finally put this shit together in my head, and figured out what was happening. First of all, the movie is an allegory. I should have mentioned that in the non-spoilers. The movie is an allegory. That's important to understand when you're watching it. Here's the thing it's an allegory for. The Bible. The whole movie is a horror allegory for the Bible. Horror is a little overselling it. The movie, let's talk about that for a second. The movie does have some jump scares. Not its major focus, but it does have some jump scares. And the fears it plays with are subtle. They're not your normal fears. The major fear it plays with is the idea of other human beings and how other human beings can invade your space. The movie is almost like a passive-aggressive home invasion film. Because that's essentially what happens. Essentially, the movie, if you want to break it down, is Javier Bardem is a famous writer or poet who writes beautiful works of art. And he hasn't written in a long time, but he's moved in this new house with his wife, who's very industrious, and she's building. And I think she's some kind of artist. I actually not sure, but it's Jennifer Lawerence, and she's renovating their house and improving their living space. And essentially what happens is Javier Bardem, her husband, aka God, he just keeps inviting people into their home. And they keep getting invited in, and slowly there's more and more people in her home until her home, this space, her living space, is no longer safe for her, and she feels violated. It starts out by him inviting in this man. The first man he invites into the house, played by Ed Harris, who incidentally is a metaphor for Adam. And Adam, as it turns out, Ed Harris's character is Javier Bardem's author's biggest fan, but he's dying. And next thing you know, his wife has shown up. His wife has been invited there, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, who incidentally is a crazy ass bitch. Oh my god. Her character is such a bitch to Jennifer Lawerence. So fucking mean to her. but like in a supposedly what is either unintentional, I don't think before I talk kind of way, or I'm the most passive aggressive cunt you'll ever meet. Forgive my French. Put a warning. Nah, kids won't watch. I know kids will watch the spoilers. I don't care. She's bad. She's a mean person at various points in the movie. And so that's happening. And while at the same time, she's dealing with the weird shit in the house. The house, like when she touches her head to the house, she can hear the house's heartbeat. And it cuts to like a thing of the heart beating. As the movie progresses, the heart gets sicker and grosser and slowly starts to turn black. Oh my God, I think I just figured that out. The heart is like her compassion for humanity. Being turned sour. Oh my God. And then so turns out Ed Harris's character is dying. So they bring in somehow then his children find them there. Their two sons, or you may know them, Cain and Abel. They are not called. I don't think they're called that in the movie. I don't remember anyone's names from this movie, to be completely honest, character-wise. But so anyways, then the whole, it's just such a weird fucking movie. So anyways, the two sons find them, and the sons start fighting over the will, and the one son kills the other son with a doorknob. Oh, I almost forgot the most important thing. God, or Javier Bardem's character, has a study where he does all of his writing. And he's been struggling with writing. And in fact, that's why he says he's bringing people into the house. Because he wants to bring life into the house. But anyway, so he has this study where he writes. And in the study is a gem. Just this almost like a piece of gem-shaped glass that he has in there, that he says is from the first time his house burned down. It's kind of like the Matrix. But so he got that gem, and he has it, and that's in his study. And at one point, the crazy bitch, Michelle Pfeiffer's character, keeps trying to sneak into that study, even though Jennifer Lawerence has told her repeatedly she had not allowed in that goddamn study. So she takes Ed Harris in there, and Ed Harris fucking drops the thing. And so Javier Bardem comes up, and he is pissed. He is furious. He is so goddamn angry. So he kicks all of them. He makes everyone go downstairs, and he boards up his study. He just nails it shut. As in, he throws them out of Eden, where he does all the creating, and then seals it. And then, so like, the first half of the movie, and then Cain and Abel thing happens. Cain and Abel, they kill each other, and then their whole family ends up getting invited into the fucking house for like a wake. And Jennifer Lawerence is freaking out, and like, they break her sink. They fuck up her shit. There's a flood in her house right before she throws everybody out. God damn it, it's Genesis. Okay, anyways. So anyways, there's a flood in the house. They break the sink. She throws everybody out. God realizes that he's messed up. They have a fight and then have crazy intense sex. After which she tells him that she is pregnant. Yeah. Which is as soon as she tells him he's pregnant, suddenly he's inspired to write again. And he goes down and he writes something and he shows it to her and she says, "It's beautiful. It's perfect." New Testament. Because that's kind of what the second act is about. Because guess what? Now she's pregnant. And while she's pregnant, things are actually great. Everything calms down. There's no more tension or stress or weird shit. Oh, by the way, there's weird shit in the basement. Where Cain died, there is a blood stain that rots through the floor with clear vagina symbolism, but also it's a gateway to hell, essentially, metaphorically, not literally. I did say it was a horror movie, so that might be confusing. It's a metaphorical gateway to hell. But anyway, she fixes the floorboard there, and she's pregnant and whatnot, and basically God gets his new poem published, and after that poem gets published, people just keep showing up at their house. It's going crazy. She's super pregnant. People come in and they just start stealing her shit because to show his generosity, God, Harvey R. Bardem, has just told them they can have whatever the fuck they want. So they start stealing her shit. And these scenes are crazy intense. This is where the fear comes in. This is where the violation comes in. I can't say that I necessarily was afraid, but there was a sense of helplessness and panic that, if not fear, was close to fear. Okay, so then shit gets crazy. She calls the police. Suddenly there's war and violence, and people are doing. Kristen Wiig plays his publisher, by the way, plays God's publisher. And at one point, she just fucking straight up executes a bunch of people in a room, incidentally. And their whole house is getting raided by the police, and it turns into a weird, there's a crazy war that breaks out, and they start chaining people up in certain rooms of the house, and people start building a shrine to her husband. And then she starts to have a baby, and the baby is born, and there's a super fucking tense scene where she does not want to give the baby to Javier Bardem. And so it's him sitting there watching her. She slowly falls asleep, the baby in her arms. And of course, as soon as she nods off, she wakes back up and the baby is gone. And Javier Bardem is taking the baby down to the people because they all want to see the baby and they all want to touch him. And they start to pass him over the crowd. Until in one of the most disturbing scenes in the movie, his neck gets broken. And then, because the baby is Jesus, they start to eat the baby. I'm not even shitting you. It's intense and gross and graphic. But it's also a metaphor for communion. Okay, anyways. It's a little bit obvious one, to be honest. It's a little bit of an obvious metaphor. Because actually it was the metaphor where I was like, it was the metaphor where I was like, just figured out what I'm watching. That was where my brain was like, yep, that's the final piece of the puzzle. This is the Bible. So yeah. And then, of course, the baby dies, and she flips out and maims and murders some people. And as soon as she maims and murders some people, they immediately start stomping and beating her to death. And the only person who can save her is Javier Bardem, coming in and shielding her and taking her and whatnot and protecting her. And she just keeps begging him to make the people leave, to make them leave their house. And Javier Bardem says that he doesn't want them to leave and that she has to forgive them. Forgive them for the baby. That they have to forgive them for killing their child. However, she can't. So she goes down to the basement and burns down the house by finding the gas or oil. Or it's something. It's flammable. But she sets it on fire. It burns down the house. And then Javier Bardem harvests a new crystal from her chest and puts on the new mantelpiece as the house regrows. I certainly hope you watched the movie before watching this part. If you didn't, I just ruined the whole fucking movie, you fucking idiot. Damn it, I warned you these were spoilers, and I told you to watch it knowing as little as possible, so you better have fucking watched it. Honestly, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I give it a 9. You got it. You should definitely, absolutely check out Mother, even if you hate it, because it's worth having an opinion about. I'm still figuring out shit about it, apparently. Now, the major question that you might ask yourself is, who is Jennifer Lawrence's character? Is she Mary, or the devil, or both, or something else? Or is she just supposed to be God's wife? There's a lot of room for interpretation. Although it is just sound like she's supposed to be the devil now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm not 100% on that. But if you think it is 100%, wait, no, don't comment in the sections. Damn it, no, don't you dare write any fucking spoilers in that section. Even though I would love to talk to you about it. Oh, I should have made a separate spoilers video. Just so people could comment on it. Maybe I'll break it up. I don't know. Alright, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff.